Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss Poltergeist 3, starring Tom Skerritt, Nancy Allen, Heather O'Rourke, Zelda Rubinstein, Laura Flynn Boyle, Kipley Wentz, and Richard Fire, and directed by Gary Sherman. Now, I've seen this movie once in my life before I reviewed it for the show, but what did I think of it? I remember it being bad, but let's see if it's as bad as I remember. Let's get into it. Carol Ann, returned by Heather O'Rourke, is living with her Aunt Patricia, played by Nancy Allen, in a high-rise building, and Heather O'Rourke looks very pale in this movie, and Nancy Allen is really bad in this movie. Carol Ann is living with Patricia as well as her husband Bruce, played by Tom Skerritt, and their stepdaughter Donna, played by Laura Flynn Boyle, and I don't like them as characters either. I don't like any of these characters, even Scott, played by Kipley Wentz, who crushes on Donna. All of Carol Ann's classmates pick on Carol Ann because of her past, and nobody is doing anything about it. If I were a parent, I would tell the principal to get the school together and tell them to knock it off. Carol Ann sees the ghost of Cain and Tangina, returned by Zelda Rubinstein, realizes he's found her and goes to Carol Ann. Meanwhile, Carol Ann is in some therapy session, which turned out funnier than scary. The acting is overall really very bad in this movie. For example, Bruce and Patricia go to a party while Donna is babysitting Carol Ann and she decides to go to a party and leaves Carol Ann alone because Carol Ann tells her what kind of responsible family is that? I would call them irresponsible. And Cain grabs Carol Ann in the mirror, and Tangina tells her to break the glass and calls the school psychologist. And I'm thinking, what a joke. And Donna and Scott and their friends sneak into the pool, and I was starting to be done with this movie at this point. Donna sees Carol Ann running around at the parking garage thanks to the security cameras, and Donna and Scott go down the parking garage to only find out Carol Ann is in trouble, and they get sucked down with Carol Ann, and I'm thinking this plot is a joke, because it's Carol Ann can't get out of the light world, and Scott manages to get out, and Tangina arrives and gets Cain disguises himself as Carol Ann, and Tangina makes Scott look at the light to find Carol Ann and Donna. This is becoming one of the worst things I've seen in a Poltergeist film. Tangina dies and Donna comes back to the world, but not Carol Ann, and Patricia overreacts about how Carol Ann should have never not been given to her. Then Bruce goes after what he's led to believe is Carol Ann. Then Donna tells the school psychologist she wants Bruce and knocks the school psychologist to the elevator dead. And she reunites with Scott as a demon. And this doesn't make any sense. How can Cain become two people? It screwed my head up big time. Bruce and Patricia go to the parking garage and it's all snowy and being chased by cars, which is a bad special effects. The special effects look absolutely terrible. Bruce and Patricia go back upstairs and bump into Cain, and Cain stops the elevator, and they get out of the elevator, and they go to the outside way into their place. They break the glass, and Carol Ann approaches Patricia that she would rather be with Cain, and Patricia wants Cain to give back her family, and Cain wants the necklace. And Tangina goes against Cain, and how is she alive? I don't know, and I don't care. And Cain finally gives back Bruce, Donna, and Carol Ann, and I was done. Like, I wanted to turn this damn thing off. And the Poltergeist curse goes to Heather O'Rourke. And why is that? She died on age 12, surprisingly. It's very sad, but here's the reason. Cardiopulmonary arrest and intentional stenosis. I think I'm saying it right. I could be wrong. But unfortunately, that's the way how she died. And I felt very bad for her. And because she's 12 at the time. My God, that's very young. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 1.4 out of 10. What a downer of an ending of a series until the remake of, and the acting is bad and the special effects are terrible. And I don't like these characters nor this plot because it's just a joke and pretentious. This is one of the worst movies I've seen in this series. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and I will be back next week with the remake of Poltergeist. And until next time, it's time to go, Carol Ann.